Hello, I'm Paul Chek, founder of the Chek Institute and the Personal, Professional, Spiritual Success Mastery Center. I'd like to take a few moments to share a concept I've recently presented in my book, The Last 4 Doctors You'll Ever Need, How to Get Healthy Now. We should have learned by now that there are no magic bullets, no magic pills. Disease is an environmentally driven condition. I teach my students in my holistic lifestyle coaching program, you should never treat the disease that has the person, but you should always coach the person that has the disease. First off, the chief physician is Dr. Quiet. Some of you may know the basics of Eastern metaphysical philosophy or medical philosophy and know about the two forces of yin and yang. So for example, the yin energy, if you were going to build a house, the idea of the house and drawing up the plans would be considered yin, but building the house would be considered yang because you're in a physical expressive mode. Yin in the body is related to digestion, elimination, tissue repair, regeneration, and recovery. Yang is related to the sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight, getting things done, playing sports, building the house, throwing the ball, swinging the hammer, splitting the firewood, etc. The entire universe is built out of these two forces, yin and yang. The earth, which is mostly wet, could be thought of as yin, and the sun, which is extremely hot, is yang. The marriage of yin and yang creates nature as we know it. The 4 doctors express the qualities of yin and yang. Dr. Quiet is the chief physician and is the chief yin physician. The rest cycle of sleep and the afterlife are very, very yin. So since we all are born and we come through yin first, yin is the chief energy, and out of yin comes yang, the same way that when you have a deep restorative rest at night, it's very hard for you to sleep in the morning because you have so much energy. That energy itself wants to get up out of bed and create. Today, the #1 reason for physician visits worldwide is fatigue. So people are overly yang. They're too dry, too hot, trying to do too much. They're burning themselves out. Thus, we have the highest levels of chronic fatigue we've ever seen. So first and foremost, if you're tired, don't drink more coffee and eat more sugar. Visit Dr. Quiet. Get more sleep. In the book, I talk all about all sorts of important aids and things you need to know about how to use sleep effectively. Our next yin doctor, the second in charge, is Dr. Diet. The food you eat provides the basic building blocks. The water you drink provides the liquids, which is very, very important. Your body, when you're born, is about 80% water. The average human being is about 70% water. There's about 10 billion biochemical reactions a second in the human body, 100% of which are water dependent. If you read the book, Your Body's Many Cries for Water by Dr. Batman-Gilage, for example, he shows you that if the central nervous system's even 1% dehydrated, it can cause significant psychological disorders. But how many of you that are taking drugs for behavioral problems, mood problems, energy problems, prescribed by psychologists and psychiatrists, have ever been evaluated to see if you're drinking enough water or even tried drinking water? What a shock. Isn't it interesting that 90 to 95% of the world population is dehydrated, yet we're pumping out psychotropic drugs at the highest rates ever in history, which could easily and should most safely be addressed first by covering Dr. Quiet and Dr. Diet. So remember, Dr. Diet is the zone of what you eat and drink. You are what you eat. You can't make chicken salad out of chicken shit, as they say. So what you've got to do is eat good food if you want good bodies. Remember, you're turning over about 2 million red blood cells a second. You turn the epidermis over every 3 days approximately. Your bones about every 3 weeks. What are you making that stuff out of? If you're going to fast food restaurants and eating processed garbage and cooking things in a microwave, I got news for you. You are inviting disease in a rapid way. Haven't you ever noticed that a lot of the stuff you buy at these fast food restaurants, if you leave it on the counter at night, the bugs won't even touch it? Yet if you leave a nice peach or strawberry out there, they'll eat that because they're intelligent. Who's your master? The bugs are learning more about food and know more about food than most of us. Pay attention. Next, we go into the yang doctors. Your first yang doctor is Dr. Movement. Dr. Movement is all about moving the body, pumping the body, keeping the body clean. Whenever you exercise, working out or working in, you're stressing the connective tissues of your body. You're moving fluid around your cells. If I just go like this, just simple little movements like that pump the body. Every time I contract the muscles, it pushes fresh used venous blood back toward the heart to help circulate it. When I relax the muscles, they absorb fresh arterial blood. Takes a lot of load off the heart. Whenever the blood and the fluids move through the body as you contract muscles, it creates little currents, little eddies, just like when you flush the toilet and the water moves. And these currents move around the cells, and there's sodium and minerals around there, and that creates electricity. Pretty cool, eh? Have you ever seen a turbine? It's just a spinning device that creates an electrical charge. Well, each one of your cells, when you move your body, is like a miniature electrical turbine. But if you don't move, you don't have electricity in your body. And if you don't have electricity in your body, you're tired all the time. And if you're drinking coffee and eating sugar all the time, then you're just nothing but a house full of parasites. You got a bunch of uninvited guests. You're scratching, itching, and going to the doctor, wondering what's wrong with you, when all you got to do is rest a little bit, eat right, and get some movement. You don't have to kill yourself. You don't have to train like a world-class athlete. All you got to do is just move. 20 minutes of walking. In my book, How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy, I show you all sorts of easy exercises that are really good for the body that anybody can do. And I have video clips in my multimedia ebook, The Last 4 Doctors You'll Ever Need. You can actually see me doing more of these things. And they're simple. Anybody can do it. If you can watch me and pay attention, if you can breathe, you can do it. Next, Dr. Happiness. Many of my patients come to me with depression and marital problems and relationship problems, and they're sad about this, and they've got a bunch of money, but they're depressed, and they've got houses and cars, or they have no money and they're depressed. It doesn't seem to matter how rich you are. People are depressed about all sorts of things. And I say to them, well, what makes you happy? And they go, I don't know. Well, we got a fundamental problem here. If you don't know what makes you happy, how are you going to know when happiness arrives? Think about that. I work with very wealthy people, and a lot of them are really unhappy. And I work with people that don't have a lot of money too, and they're often unhappy too. It's a bit of a problem we've got right now. What you'll see is as the vitality of any organism decreases, so does consciousness, so does intelligence, and so does mood or sense of happiness. So in the section on Dr. Happiness, I talk to you about what I call core values, so you can identify what it is that creates happiness in your life. I'll quote Maxwell Maltz, who says, success is getting what you want. Happiness is wanting what you get. Well, I got news for you. If you want to be happy and successful at the same time, then all you need to do is take regular counsel with the last 4 doctors you'll ever need. You can learn more in my multimedia ebook, The Last 4 Doctors You'll Ever Need, How to Get Healthy Now. You can study my program, You Are What You Eat, and you can look at my book, How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy, and there's enough information in there for you that most of you will never need another doctor again. And you can take that $5,600 the average American's spending on medical bills every year, and you can have a fantastic vacation somewhere nice and somewhere beautiful. And maybe I'll see you there and we can compare bodies. Have fun.